Ready to escape the ordinary? Tune in for this episode of Island Time at Latitude Margaritaville, located in Hilton Head and Water Sound. Last time on Island Time, we dropped into a Spanish class where residents were brushing up on their language skills. Muy divertido. This week, we're trading flashcards for paintbrushes as we dive into watercolor basics. Let's see how creativity flows in paradise. From morning stretches to evening laughs, our residents made the most of every moment at these recent events. Veterans Day brunch at Latitude Margaritaville Water Sound. We came together to honor the brave men and women who have served our country. It was a morning of gratitude, connection, and a celebration of their incredible sacrifice. Minto Match Point Pickleball Tournament at Latitude Margaritaville Water Sound. Prospective buyers and residents went head-to-head in an open pickleball tournament packed with energy, friendly competition, and community spirit. The ultimate tribute to Robin Williams at Latitude Margaritaville Water Sound. Residents packed the Last Mango Theater for the ultimate Robin Williams tribute experience. A wild, heartfelt ride through comedy and nostalgia that left everyone laughing, moved, and amazed. Beatle Beat Live at Latitude Margaritaville Hilton Head. We rocked out to the sounds of the Beatles, brought to life with high energy and the spirit of the Fab Four. And now, over to the Beatle Beat Live concert at Latitude Margaritaville Hilton Head.
We're here having a great time, living in Margaritaville, living the dream. We are at the Beatles tribute night here at the Last Mango Theater. I'm a big twist and shout kind of a guy. That's a classic for me, so
I like Yellow Submarine.
it doesn't get any better than this. It's right in our backyard. We don't have to go anywhere.
We are enjoying the Beatle Beat concert, and they're awesome.
I love the Beatles.
The friends and family that we've met here, it's the best.
There's so many activities that you could do. There's so much to do here.
We are having so much fun.
Enjoy
Listening
paradise.
to the Beatles, to people in the fun and relaxed atmosphere, and fun, being old and having fun.
The neighbors, the whole community, I love it here. We came from New York. Taxes were high. Weather was horrible. This is our paradise.
What's so great about living on the community is it's almost like going back to college. You've got a curriculum of sorts. So when we look at our webpage, we see all the different things that are offered to us. Yes, there are clubs and there are interest groups, but there's a lot of classes that we can take. And one of those are watercolor basics. That's the class that's going on right now. It's a series of classes. This is class number 2 that we're going to go into. We've learned the color wheel. We've learned what the paint medium is. We learned our brushes and so forth. But now we're going to actually learn how to put that and applique that onto a piece of paper or an artistry of a canvas of some sort. So let's go inside and get a little bit more colorful with our work today. Come on.
The background is part of the painting. It's not an afterthought. It is part of the presentation. But there's one element that if you can start to incorporate this in your work, it'll make everything a little bit more interesting to the brain. The one in the center did not do it well. The one on the far left does, and the one on the right does.
And the shade?
White space. Because truthfully, on the far left, that purple, I see a lot of yellow petals that don't even connect to the flower head, which in nature isn't going to work, right? The petal doesn't float. But the brain fills in the gaps. The brain says, oh, they're attached. And it just looks bright and interesting by everything not being quite so. If in the center one, I would say that's a little bit more constipated. You know, this is just so precise. Everybody's attached. It's not quite as interesting. The piece that is consistent across all of them is that the background is part of the picture. So when you're thinking composition and you're thinking of something to paint, don't discard the background as, oh, it's just something that I need to stick in there so they don't look like they're floating in space. It's actually, it can make the painting sing. If that were just Orange Lady by herself, she wouldn't be so interesting. The background makes it pop.
I'm intrigued by the whole color wheel, learning the opposites. Just in that 10 minutes that I listened, I'm like, so
no.
I did not know. I did not. In watercolors, do we always blend in watercolors? Or is it straight out lines and?
It's a both and.
Depending on what you want.
Yeah, blending is probably the most common thing.
Okay.
Also, watercolor can be transparent, which most of the acrylic and oil not transparent. And so it's the most exciting thing is to use its transparency. You can see through it, and to have it blend, because it blends naturally. It often blends we call them happy accidents by mistake.
Love
you don't
that.
orchestrate it. You put the water down, you put the paint down, and suddenly you got magic. It's amazing what we can learn in short order. Totally flat. When we retired, I bet most of us, I didn't have a hobby. I never had time for a hobby.
I've talked to so many people after they saw some of my paintings go, "Did you know you can paint?" And I said, "No, I've been busy working all my life."
I love
And I
it.
said, as soon as I came out from behind a desk, all of a sudden,
Creativity just switched.
yeah, like, oh wow, I can do this.
So you have other paintings that you do.
I've done a few.
And what's your form? What's your style? What is your...
Well, I've tried a little of everything to see, what I'm better at. I mean, I'm still struggling like doing like faces and people, but flowers are great. That's the easiest one to kind of like break into.
And who can tell you a flower is wrong, right? I mean, that's the joy,
And that's
right?
the thing with watercolor.
Yeah.
Like she said, it's a happy accident. Like it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect.
And that's what I like about that too. I don't have to be so articulate with my lines.
Right.
This is like if it blurs or it bleeds,
Exactly.
It's
even
usually
better.
part of the art. Yeah.
Exactly.
You really empowered us in that first class when you said, let the paint happen, let the accidents happen. They don't have to be perfect. The brain would fill in the pieces.
brain fills it in.
That
Yes.
was a good point that you said, especially about those petals that would be floating, but but the white made sense in that.
It perks it up.
It did.
Yeah. It won't work, I don't think, in the same way with other mediums.
No, the watercolor, just the beauty of the watercolor itself, even if it turns into what you would call a happy accident or a mess, can still be beautiful.
So just having that approval that it's okay that it does do that, I love it. Makes it.
And
I
that you
could do
keep
that.
trying,
I started with oils, then I moved to acrylics, then I moved to watercolor. I do acrylics and watercolors now.
So are watercolors harder, easier, different?
Harder.
Harder?
Harder.
Watercolors are harder than acrylic?
Yeah, because with acrylics, you can simply paint over it if you don't like it.
Okay.
There's no white in watercolor. You have to leave the paper without paint on it to make white. And you have to understand the characteristics of the paint because some of them are transparent, some of them aren't. So there's a lot of variation in watercolor that doesn't exist in acrylics. So acrylics is
I would have gone
very
the
easier.
opposite way. I would have thought that acrylics, because it's so rigid, so detailed that you can't make a mistake.
No, you can make a mistake. There's a little bit of a challenge blending acrylics because they dry so quickly. But other than that, they're very simple.
And what will you do with this watercolor? Not this particular one, but with the whole watercolor.
I try to paint twice a week. I try to paint acrylics on Tuesdays, watercolors on Wednesdays.
You have a set calendar for your
I
arts
do.
and crafts. I love it.
Otherwise, I don't get to it. So
Because you're so busy with everything else.
I just love to paint. So
Is there a certain form of people, nature?
landscape, seascape. Yeah, I don't do people.
Boy, do we have a lot of landscape that you can do.
Oh,
Do you guys ever venture out and go paint a scene someplace, like go to Pinckney Island?
I haven't here, but in my past life, I have done a lot of plein air painting. Yeah,
We'll get you out there.
yeah.
Just another great class. Again, I say this, you get on the property, you get in the community, you start looking at the curriculum. What can I do today? These classes are amazing. Inside that classroom, we learned how challenging watercolors can be. Who knew? I had no idea. But what I do know is that there's things there now that have intrigued me to go home and try for myself. So I'm excited about that. I don't know if my husband's gonna be excited about it because there's gonna be paint everywhere, but I'm gonna give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. I'll report back another time, but stay tuned for more classes and we'll see you again very soon. The journey continues. Here's a glimpse of what's to come. Moo Monday. No key karaoke. Oyster roast. From bold brushstrokes to peaceful palettes, creativity is always in bloom here on Island Time. Thanks for painting the day with us. We'll be taking a break next week for the holiday and wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.